claiming that, quote, Missouri families are in a real hole right now, dug by President Biden and the lies he tells us about coronavirus, border security, and the cost of the Build Back Better legislation. Smith told NBC News in an interview that he hopes to become the next chairman of the powerful House Ways and Means Committee if Republicans can take the majority in the House in November. Smith's move to run for re-election would mean foregoing a Senate bid for Missouri Republican Roy Blunt's seat. Blunt is set to retire after his current term and will not run for re-election in 2022. Bernie Bennett in Washington.
Nearly 1 year after 10 people were shot and killed at a supermarket in Boulder, Colorado, that store is back open now. Customers were welcomed back today following a ceremony that blended celebration with remembrance. Speakers focused on the importance of having a neighborhood store. More on these stories at townhall.com.
After a long, hard night, I am exhausted. I need something that will stimulate.
Well, I didn't feel you listening to me, Ron Phillips.
I was listening to you talk. Dude.
I wasn't feeling it, though, because usually when you're really listening to it, it's like I feed off that energy because I can feel it. Just like when I was downstairs, I got caught up an extra 15 minutes talking to the girls downstairs because when I was telling them the story when I was out in Spokane, I could see in all their eyes that they were feeling it. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Get yourself the very best in bedding supplies today. You deserve it.
I think I shaved too short.
And don't forget our very special promo code, Mojo50 for incredible.
You shaved it too short.
I think so.
Why?
I don't feel really manly. Like I look at myself, I'm like, God, you look like kind of a bitch.
Of course you do. Get your own.
No?
You look like kind of a bitch.
You felt that shit, didn't you?
I did. All right, 1 minute. Uno momento. Uno minuto.
What's up, Audrey, Kathy, Teresa? What's up, Barbara? Ladies and gentlemen, please give it up for Mary Mansfield. Oh, Mary, it's your birthday. What's going on, everybody? What up, Delaney? I still tell everybody your story that you told us last time you called in. It is a great conversation starter. Just saying. I love you, girl. Big hugs.
All right, here we
What
go.
up, Leslie?
Here we go.
What up, Josh Kemp?
So if you're looking for new or replacement term life insurance, call right now for a free quote.
Rates and availability may vary by state. Sample rate quotes are based on preferred non-tobacco underwriting exam required to qualify.
800-803-2142. 800-803-2142. 800-803-2142. That's 800-803-2142. Journey into the matrix of the mind. Stretch your imagination and challenge reality. Abnormal realities are beacons for the imagination. What society deems abnormal may be more real than we think. This is Abnormal Realities with your hosts, Ron Phillips and Rocci Stucci.
Whoa, hold. Let's start over. I wasn't ready. And you did the underarm finger point. You did the. Hey!
I did this. I went.
Kind of punched me in the face. I wasn't expecting the full boom. What's up, everybody? The survivor.
Who? Why?
The conqueror.
Why are you a survivor?
Well, I'm not. My family is.
Oh, your
but they're
family.
okay.
Okay,
Yeah,
good.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. It was a tough afternoon for at least one member of your family.
Yep.
I would have beat his ass. I'm telling you, I would have beat his ass.
You can't help but want, because we're men of peace.
Number
right?
one, he was on your property.
Dude, what's up?
I said, would you have beat his ass? We'll tell you the story in a second. Rocky said, I don't know if I would have beat his ass or filmed it.
Or both. I would have been like, baby, hold my phone. Record it.
Tell the story.
No, so I get this call at about 5:15.
This is some abnormal reality shit, right?
This is like cops. Like, bad boys, what you gonna do? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Dude, I kind of felt that a
You
little
did.
bit. All right. Lisa calls me freaking. I was talking to Teresa. Hung up with Teresa, and then all of a sudden my phone rings, and it's Lisa. And she starts yelling at me.
Yeah.
She's all fired up. I'm like, what? Well, so there was a guy right in front of our house.
Did
right
you see
across
any
the
of this
street.
happen, by the
No,
way?
I was driving home from work.
You didn't even make it home.
No, I didn't get
Okay.
home till
All right.
6:05.
Okay.
Ate lasagna and said, bro, I'm on my way.
Yep, I got you. All right. Go ahead.
Right across the street, in our street, in my front, right there, they got a guy across the street who was a crack dealer. And there's cops everywhere. It was
a
a
great
big old
neighborhood,
bust.
right?
It was, dude. It looks like if you're not from there and you drive through there during the summertime, it's a really nice.
It's a nice
neighborhood.
neighborhood. It really is.
Until
you meet the crack dealers.
Oh, I could have just really just went a direction
meet the crack.
on that.
Yeah. Okay. So
All
the
right.
cops were busting They busted a crack dealer across the street.
They were busting them, and they detained him, and there was people everywhere.
Put him in the car.
They
Cuffed him and put him in the car.
So then the cops decided to go up to houses. I think they had to get some reports or just talk to people,
Okay.
the witnesses or whatever. And all of a sudden, Lisa said that she heard a guy scream or say, "Yo, he's running." And so the dude got out of the cop car. Out of the cop car.
I'm still trying to figure out how that happened.
I am too.
Because they don't open from the inside, and they've usually have a cage.
Did they have the window down? Maybe
they could have had the window down.
And he just
that was a
reached
bad move.
Yeah, well,
or he busted it.
One of the two.
Okay, go
so
ahead.
the dude literally ran with his handcuffs on, and he went through the neighbor's gate. I guess he'd smashed it open. However he did it, because obviously he didn't use his arm, so he probably had to kick it.
He probably just ran head first into it.
Yeah, so he gets to, now he's in our neighbor's yard. And Lisa's outside.
What was that noise?
That was my throat, because I was trying not to burp.
God dang. Dude.
Don't judge me, okay? Don't judge me.
What was that? It sounded like a mouth fart.
Yeah, I couldn't pull back quick enough.
Okay. God, and it smells. What was that? Did you burp?
No.
Jesus Christ.
That's Petey's ass.
That's not Petey's ass. That was like lasagna.
Garlic.
Dude.
Oh!
That was like lasagna or something.
Yeah. Mama had a plate of lasagna
God,
for
nasty.
Dad when I got home. Thank you, baby.
Jeez. All right, go ahead. You did the tongue thing.
I did.
You?
I did.
Okay.
It felt great.
All right, go ahead.
And so he ends up in my neighbor's backyard with Lisa in the backyard, and then he's like right there, right at the fence line right in front of Lisa.
Your next door neighbor and him. And y'all.
No.
Yeah.
Cops, dude. The cops couldn't even catch him. They were trying to catch the dude, I guess, and he was in handcuffs, still outrunning the cops. And there was this big runaround, and then we have that back, like a park, a walking park, and there's cops, I guess, everywhere over there. And dude, it was like madness. And Lisa was right there, and she was freaking out because she made a good point. She said, "What if he would have charged her while she was back there?"
Yeah,
because it all happened so quick.
Yeah, yeah.
Anybody who's been in that situation knows that it's like time
I'm pretty
stops.
sure Lisa could take him.
Well,
he's
yeah.
in cuffs, dude. All she got to do is pop him in the head.
Dude, you could rip his nuts off with zero resistance.
Then go to beating his ass.
Beating it, dude.
And
She
let the
is-
cops pull her off
She's
of
kind
it.
of a badass.
Yeah.
So when
that's called self-defense right there. He wasn't supposed to be in the backyard.
What she used to do to me when I was on the couch.
Oh, here it comes.
She would come up to me while I'm laying on the couch, and she would flop down on me like she would sit on my stomach. But then she bounces. She stands up and she bounces on you. And then when she's doing it, she's poking you. And it's taking the breath out of you. And it's so damn cute. You're laughing, but then you can't breathe. And then you feel the fingers going in. But that's one of her martial art techniques. It's called the Lisa Bounce.
The Lisa Bounce. All right, got it.
All right, so the dude got finally tackled down. All that crap happened. Lisa's freaked out because if the dude would have came and tried to kick in the door, bring Lisa in or hold her hostage or whatever it may be, she freaked out a little bit.
He was handcuffed. Now, I don't suppose she realized that right off the bat.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Freaking idiot.
But I technically should have been home, but I got caught up dealing with some stuff today at work.
Yeah, I hear you.
So I was late. I was supposed to leave at 4. I didn't leave till 4:45. Didn't get home till 6 because traffic.
Yeah,
here
traffic.
sucks.
It does suck. All right. So when you got home, did she give you an earful?
No, I talked to her most of the way home.
Oh,
she filled
okay.
me in,
Good.
and then I got to the bridge,
Yep.
and she freaked out, and she wanted to let me go, so she hung up on me while I was mid-sentence. Pretty rude.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm still mad at her about that, really. So yeah, and that's it. That's
it's the
pretty
event.
wild.
It's the rapid fire events that make life exciting, and that kind of stuff like that running in the backyard. I mean, you have to be able to think on your, in your shock, I guess.
Yep.
And that's tough to do.
Yeah, that's people. A lot of people realize how quick things happen.
Oh yeah.
But you know, we always,
especially if you don't know what was happening prior to that.
But here's the funny thing, and I've learned this through experience. Our imaginations always can manipulate our thought.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
To
and
make us think
we'll
in any situation.
Yeah.
I mean, I watch movies where they're like jumping out of freaking buildings with the rope and they catch a helicopter, and I'm like, I could totally do that.
If you're in a movie, maybe.
Well, no, you know what I'm saying? Our imaginations do that. So our imaginations, well, that won't happen. Oh, if that happened to me, I'll beat his ass. That you don't know that.
I don't know that. You're right.
You know, if you're in an
I
elevator,
think I would have been pissed off enough. I think.
I mean, you're in an elevator in a parking ramp. You're going in to go up to another, and then all of a sudden that elevator gets bombarded within a second.
Yeah.
Of 3-4 people coming there for you.
Yeah. What do you do?
Most people drop.
I
drop.
hear you. Yeah.
You know, they drop.
Yeah.
No. So yeah, just be prepared.
That's my problem, though. My problem is I have an explosive anger.
You need that for those situations.
And I know I do. So I try not to get angry, but it's an explosive anger. And quite honestly, I lose sight of like reality.
That is the dangerous part.
And I get abnormal.
Yeah.
And that is the dangerous part.
That's called prison.
Well, maybe.
Depends. Like today, if I was there,
where I spend the night,
I could accidentally, like drop my elbow down his throat.
You could have.
And like
you'd have been justified.
Yeah. I mean, I felt threatened, or I slipped in dog poop and fell on his face with a rock.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. It's scary stuff. And it's easy to watch stuff on the news. Just like it's easy to watch paranormal shows on TV. Everybody says the same shit too, just like I do. Oh, I'd do that. Dude, I totally would go there. So do we talk about the Goldfield Hotel? Dude, my number one spot I want to go to. But
if we showed up at the front doorstep of the Goldfield Hotel, what would Rocci do?
Yeah, well,
we don't know yet, but
I already kind of do with a place like that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I mean, it's like, yeah, I want to go to the third floor. I want to go to the second floor. I want to go to the basement where the brick was thrown. But damn, I guarantee you when I'm going to that basement, I'm going to have lanterns. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I don't need for any particular reason to be in the absolute dark.
No, why?
Because
I mean,
I
understand that most of the paranormal and ghost hunting shows, they do everything in the dark with infrared lights on their cameras, right? So they can't see jack squat,
right.
But we as a viewer can.
And the whole psychological part of being in complete darkness.
Yeah.
Like at the Hill House, dude, if we would have went upstairs with the lights on during the day, and it would have been nowhere near as creepy.
No.
But no, we got to shut it all off.
But it was still daylight when we got the tour.
Yeah.
You remember that?
And then the dude had to have special effect lighting, like the red lights.
He did.
And the dolls with glowing eyes.
He did. And the candles.
And the candles.
Flickering candles,
and it just don't help your motivation on doing shit by yourself. That's it. Yeah. That's all I got.
If I owned a house that I wanted to call haunted, I would do the same thing with it.
100%.
The atmosphere in that house was freaking weird. There's no question.
No, and okay, psychosomatic?
Oh yeah, that's what it's meant to be. I mean, he sets up the entire house with old objects and dolls and these little stand-up mannequins that are like, that kind of shit.
What are they like?
Especially that nurse one that was in that front room. That was a wicked looking. That's the one that Brad went in and stayed by himself.
Yeah, I was literally, I had concerns for Brad.
Yeah.
And then he shows up upstairs with the axe.
It's almost like, yeah, he did.
Dude, that was
It's
nuts.
almost like Brad was poking it in the chest going, come on, bitch, come on. And I'm like, it's about to come down on him.
Yeah. Oh, and
do you know who Avi Loeb is?
Isn't it a band like your daughter listens to?
Avi Loeb. Avi Loeb is a famous astrophysicist that said we will soon see a UFO as irrefutable evidence.
Do we actually have like irrefutable evidence?
Apparently not. People will think, there are people out there who think we do.
Audrey
but
does.
Evidently the government doesn't.
I think we have it. It's Audrey. Audrey, I think, literally.
Maybe Audrey does. Yeah.
Is legitimate alien. I mean, I got concerns for her too.
Well, we have a story that might fall along the lines of here momentarily. In an interview with The Guardian, infamous Harvard astrophysicist Avi Loeb said that perhaps in a few months, we will see the first sufficiently detailed image that can be irrefutable evidence that UFOs are alien spacecraft.
How do they predict? How do they predict the timeline?
I don't know. It says it is Avi Loeb who claims that the unusual interstellar object Oumuamua.
Oh,
you remember
Oumuamua,
the long cigar-shaped asteroid? Do you remember that?
Oh, I thought that was like a tribal dance.
Looks like a cigar, yeah. Oumuamua is a spacecraft that was created by extraterrestrial intelligence. In recent months and years, Loeb has attracted a lot of public attention with his confident claims that there are technology-advanced alien civilizations. Last year, let me make sure mine's muted,
that was mine.
There we go. Last year, he founded the Galileo Project, which aims to provide evidence of alien technology by building a global network of telescopes, cameras, and computers ready to study UFOs. Loeb's Galileo Project has a team of more than 100 scientists, which is intriguing to me, too, because you get 100 scientists together searching for UFOs. That's cool.
I don't understand this.
Are you getting stuff for Izzo?
No, from Lisa.
Oh.
What is that?
What is that?
I don't know. It's like,
Gross. Yeah. According to the Harvard professor, this summer, the first telescope of the project will start working from the roof of the Harvard College Observatory. The telescope will use infrared cameras to capture video of the sky around the clock and is equipped with a radio sensor, an audio sensor, and a magnetometer to detect invisible objects. The computer will use artificial intelligence to analyze data. Loeb said, ignoring objects like birds, drones, planes, and meteors, and focusing on any objects not man-made. So Avi Loeb is confident that the project will provide the general public with indisputable evidence of the existence of UFOs.
What's a Libya?
It's not Libya.
What's a woman's Libya?
The word is labia.
I don't care. What is it? What is it, Ron?
We're not having this conversation.
Yeah,
we're not.
Dude, I'm going to be
we're not having this conversation.
Okay, all right, I'm going to Google it. And I'll interrupt your article.
All right, I'm done with my part of the article, or my that part of the article.
Do you spell it Libya?
No.
L-A?
Yeah, God, dog. Just, oh, my God.
Okay, let me see. Libya.
I live in hell.
Okay, so the labia are the lips on the outside.
Okay.
What? The vulva. They call it a vulva. A vulva.
How did we get to this?
Vulva. It's
How did we get to this?
Hey, what do you drive? I drive a vulva. Yeah, I do. I didn't know. Okay. So there are two parts of the labia. The lips on the outside of the vagina. And
God.
Known as the labia majora. Oh, I got things to say. And the folds of the skin on the inside that lead to the vagina called the labia minora.
Dude, stop touching me, man.
Okay, so just for the record, this lady is an artist, and that's what she did.
Well,
there,
please
Rob.
don't show the art.
Well, it is art, but
No.
a lady carved that in wood.
Okay.
So that's art. So what we just told you was real science. This is an educational program. You're welcome. Thank you, Texas.
Anybody but you knew what all those words were.
I had no idea what a labia was because I don't ever want to look at a real one like that.
Not that one.
Nope. I mean, it looked like hot dog water stuff.
Moving on. You're going to listen back to this in a little while, and you're going to go.
I'm going to be so pissed. There was two things I said on yesterday's show that I got mad at. Well, thanks. I'm glad you were aware of what that was. You are a true man of science, Mr. Phillips.
I try to be.
I appreciate that.
I at least knew
by
what
the
that
way,
was.
they're getting ready to take pictures on the satellite.
Yeah, well, they're already taking pictures, but they're lining the mirrors up. They won't do real science pictures for another couple months.
That's way too long.
Well, that's how long it takes. Because they've got to make minuscule adjustments on those mirrors so they can get focused. He's talking about the James Webb Space Telescope, but.
Oh, so there's surgeries. There's surgeries. All right.
Are we back on the other topic?
I just accidentally clicked the image button on the search. Okay.
All right. I'm going to do another story to kind of take us back onto track, because after the break, we have a story that I think Rocky's going to carry on with the rest of the show.
What?
Oh, yeah. I think it's...
What's it about? What's it about?
Pseudoscience.
Oh. Well, we got a lot of pseudo academics on social media.
We do. But this one's gonna eat your lunch, I think.
No,
so,
I'm gonna eat its lunch.
I'm sure you will.
No problem.
All right, next one is Audrey. A physicist is sure that millions of aliens live on Earth right now. Right now. Would you stop looking at those?
It's science.
It's not science. It's called porn. Stop looking at those.
No, it's really not, because those people won't get paid to do porn.
Okay. Physicist James Kuhn assures that in only one country there can
like
be a
SpongeBob SquarePants shit going on, dude.
There can be a society of aliens exceeding 1 million. Thus, the probability of marrying an alien is, according to his calculations, 50%. Don't know what that means, but we'll see. Earth is a vast world full of life-friendly resources and an ideal climate. So why can't other extraterrestrial races live with the rest of the species on the blue planet? Perhaps they have been doing this for a long time, but people, due to their ignorance, do not notice it. Right, Audrey? People just don't know.
What?
Dude, I only can catch it out of my peripheral vision, but would you stop doing that? A person has great abilities, but they are limited. The senses and hearing allow you to recreate only a part of the reality of the universe when compared with alien species. Due to these limitations, it is not possible to evaluate the camouflage used by some animal species. If we can't tell them apart, what's stopping alien species with far more advanced camouflage from living on Earth? A natural question arises. It is possible that various extraterrestrial races already inhabit the blue planet and walk alongside people on a daily basis.
It's weird my coffee tastes like hot dogs after looking at those pictures.
It is... I can't even do this damn story. It is believed that most of the, quote, guests inhabiting the Earth are associated with the people or maintain close contact with them. In particular, physicist James Kuhn assures that in one country, there can be an alien society exceeding 1 million inhabitants. The scientist claims to have identified over 1,000 different cases of alien presence during his career in the U.S. government. In the United States, there are up to 5 million aliens who have taken on human form, the expert says. Perhaps the very purpose of these aliens living on Earth is simply to observe the people who live around them and, by extension, the population in which they have settled. Thus, the probability of marrying an alien is 50%.
About what?
Many have been identified. Many aliens have been identified so far as attempting to impersonate humans, and their behavior has been deemed anomalous in relation to the human profile.
Dude, I'm going to tell you, there have been some times that I will say that, Lisa, she did some really weird, like, alien kind of shit, and I'm kind of traumatized from it.
I've seen people do alien kind of shit, or hell, you can see it on the internet today. You just go search dumbasses, or
what?
Go to Reddit and do what is the Reddit that I follow? What do I call it? Public Freakout. The subreddit called Public Freakout. If you want to spend like half your night, just start that thread at the top and start scrolling. It's ridiculous. The longer these aliens stay on Earth, the more they seek our company, he says.
Oh.
Currently, the human population consists of 2 types of people. One is those who are being manipulated by the elite to create dissension, and the other are people who have learned not to blindly trust what the media says. This is why the series of unthinkable events that led to the full recognition of the UFO phenomenon happened very quickly. Finally, as a result, many experts see the existence of hybrid races as a fact born of the conviction of mankind. Perhaps this is how the human species has moved forward and continues to expand its consciousness. Thus, people can only accept that extraterrestrial races have existed on Earth for a long time.
Dude, Delaney, she's a 6-fingered Chitaru Zulu reptilian hybrid.
What?
Yeah, dude, straight up. DNA and everything.
Okay.
Delaney, that's our girl, Delaney, right there. Dude, she is a 6-fingered.
I've never heard
because
of
it's
that,
unique.
Obviously.
Yeah, it's unique.
It's unique, but I've never heard of the DNA aspect of it.
Yeah, I threw that in.
Oh,
I did.
You did? Okay.
I did. It was weird, but it just felt very necessary to do.
Okay.
Thank you. Good article,
All right,
Ron.
yeah. Coming up after the break, we're going to talk about hearing ghost voices relies on pseudoscience and fallibility of human perception. When I brought this up to Rocci right at the beginning of the show, or right before the show started, he was like, this is not going to be a good article for me to hear, is it?
I mean, probably not. About it. The greatest con ever is us aliens telling you that we are alien, and y'all just write us off as crazy. Best cover ever.
Who said that?
Audrey.
Look, if that's the case, there are. Look, I guarantee there are people out there right now going, "Oh, yeah, I know what he's talking about," because they're alien, right?
Dude, what if you found
What if they don't know they're alien?
That's what I was just
you're
gonna say.
alien and you don't know it? That is weird,
so weird
right?
you just said that, though. I'm kind of stuck on that part. We both had the same thought at the same time.
What
that's
if the reason we're so intrigued with space travel and UFOs
because that's where we're from
is because we long for home?
Well, look at, dude,
What
when you
the
look
hell?
at the reincarnation and they have, this image that there's somebody they're not, they're from a different world. So when we're intrigued into UFOs and outer space, maybe we're having flashbacks of a reincarnation from somewhere else in the galaxy that we're from. And we reincarnated here. How do we know we reincarnated on the same damn planet in the same damn galaxy?
We don't. We don't know that. But it's probable.
Hell yes, it is.
Possible.
And that is too.
Yeah.
Yep. I worked out today.
You did?
Nope.
I was going to be pissed if you did.
I worked out my blood pressure.
Yeah.
I sure did.
Yeah, you did. It
yeah,
worked.
give me some. Come on. So
hey, OdysseyRadio.com is where you can go subscribe so we can let you know when the website is up. It is at ODYSYRadio.com. It is a brand new site that's coming up for a brand new station. Station's been around, I guess, but we're revamping it. So it'll be a brand new station for all intents and purposes. And we are adding shows every day. I added 2 more today to the station, and we can't wait to have those shows up and running.
Coming at you.
Yeah, RomikaDesigns.com, InsaneCustomTumblers.com. You can go visit those during the break. What do you got?
I love you guys. And Nanu. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Thank you,
Mark. The plane.
He didn't say that. We'll be back in 2 minutes.
At Romika Designs, we're more than just a laser engraving and specialty design company. Much more. I'm Ron Phillips, co-owner of Romika Designs, and if you can dream it, we can probably make it. We can custom laser cut and engrave on nearly all material. Great for one-of-a-kind gifts, home decor, business and specialty items, or personalized and logoed designs created just for you or your company. Allow us to become your go-to gift and specialty project partner. Romika Designs can help make your ideas a reality. We're ready to help you design and create that special gift for any occasion or engrave your personal or business logo on just about any product. View our designs at romikadesigns.com or simply email us with your ideas. We specialize in custom design and would be honored to have the opportunity to discuss it with you. Call us at 817-400-4040, email info@romikadesigns.com, or visit us on the web at romikadesigns.com.
Abnormal realities.
I watched a documentary the other day. People that were abducted. That's what it was about.
Abductees.
There is a kid, he claimed that he could speak alien. Let me see if I can pick it up. And he was serious, dude. I got chills watching it.
Then what was that sound you were making just now?
I don't know. It was what they did. But I probably said something in alien just now.
Did you call them to come get us? Maybe they can bring us a pizza. Ask them.
Bring us pizza?
Yeah, I don't care what.
Okay, hold on. I got to feel it.
Make sure it has jalapeno on it.
Really?
Yeah.
Just half jalapeno.
Okay.
Okay, so I'm going to ask aliens to bring me pizza.
Do they deliver it in 30 minutes or less?
It's on the way. Or it's free.
Abnormal realities. with Ron and Rocky. 8 p.m. Eastern, Mojo 50.
Welcome back to Abnormal Realities, folks. I'm Ron Phillips. That's Rocky Stucci.
How you doing?
This is PT. PT. Whoop, 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 whoop. Oh, sorry.
Yeah, I kind of turned down watching that.
It's like Curly Joe with the
You're
bald
doing
head
like
there.
some magical finger tap dancing there, brother. I was like, okay, keep going.
Keep going, keep
All of a sudden I
going.
heard. Go ahead.
Lisa, I just want to say thank you. Rocky couldn't put the photo down the whole break.
The plane, bitches, the plane.
He doesn't say the plane.
Who does
That's
what?
Tattoo.
Who's Tattoo?
From Fantasy Island. The little person. The plane. Mork from Mork says Nanu.
Oh, I love Mark, dude.
And that's Spock.
That is the most
Star
confusing
Trek. You're a
shit
Star
you just-
Trekker.
No, I'm not.
You did Star Trek.
Oh, yeah, I did the Nanu.
No, that's Star Trek. You're a Trek fan.
No, I'm really not. No, dude, I tell you something. I tried. Dude, I did it for Scotty. Right?
Did you? Yeah.
I remember one night.
That
freaking
you
4 or
watched
5
what
years
you were
ago.
watching Star Trek?
I pulled up the original series.
Okay.
Okay, it was on like Netflix or it was somewhere. It was the original series.
I'm not
So-
even a fan of the original.
So I
series.
started watching 1 and 1, right? Audrey, relax. All right. Live long and prosper.
Yep. There you go.
All right.
Spock. Yeah.
Calm down. All right. I got a little shit going on. And what am I talking about?
It kicked in, didn't it? Star Trek.
Oh, yeah.
And
So I
Scotty.
started watching it and I was confused right off the bat. So here's this dude with greasy blonde hair, super ugly ass tight sweater, V-neck, right? Sleeves were too short for him. And he was screwing aliens, right? It was just right off the bat. I'm like, what's going on? And with it being bad graphics, like low budget stuff, because it's so old, it's harder for me to feel it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I made it to like episode 3. I was messaging Scotty. I mean, I would say the 2 people in the scene, and he would know exactly where I was at in every freaking episode. And then
Yeah.
he would explain to me who this person is and what their magical powers are. And it's just like, dude, I made it. That's it. That's all I got. Never again. But I do watch the Hollywood ones. I think those are cool because there's cool graphics in it.
The movies,
Yeah.
the
Yep.
full-length feature
Yep.
movies. Yeah.
Yep.
There are. And that's the thing and I think that's probably why I'm not a fan of the old Star Trek series. Not because of the Star Trek story itself, but I became a fan in the next generation with the computer graphics
Yep.
and, the AI aspect of it.
Like
and stuff
Scotty
that.
would go to a movie set
Yeah.
and he would sit in the captain's chair
Yeah.
and start crying. All right.
There's nothing wrong with that.
No,
dude.
there is something
There's nothing
wrong with that. It's Captain Kirk's chair for Star Wars.
Star Trek. Star Wars was Han Solo,
Dude,
Luke
that confused
Skywalker.
me. And then you talk about some dude who goes in a freaking phone booth and travels through time. Really? That's what you watch?
Doctor Who.
Who?
Yeah.
All right.
He went into a Taurus.
Tortoise.
Thank you. See, at least you know.
It's a tortoise.
I said Taurus like a car.
And I said tortoise like a tortoise.
You did. It was tortoise. Yeah. So then Audrey says the new movies with Chris Pine are pretty good too.
Who's that?
Yeah, I'm also a Star Trek Discovery fan. So that's what the Discovery series is out right now.
Didn't even know there's a Discovery.
Yeah,
are
it's really good.
Are they still coming out with like real new episodes?
Discovery is.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah, Discovery is.
But I'm watching Valhalla. That's what I'm going to be watching.
Did you see that video I sent you?
I got chills, dude.
Oh, sweet.
I
Jeebus.
got chills.
And you heard what they called her name, right?
No, what they call her?
Freda. So this is Freya. This is the pre-Vikings where they created those two as gods. You know what I'm saying? That's what this one's about.
Dude, I gotta need a hug right now.
Oh, this is
I
fantastic.
can't wait. Oh,
All right, well, good. Let me ruin that for you.
oh that's
Hearing
sweet.
ghost voices relies on pseudoscience and fallibility of human perception. This will be fun. Non-trivial numbers of Americans believe in the paranormal. These beliefs have spawned thousands of groups dedicated to investigating paranormal phenomena and a proliferation of ghost hunting entries in the reality television market. Anecdotal evidence even suggests that ghost hunting reality shows have increased public openness to paranormal research, which usually entails a small group of traipsing through reportedly
So I
haunted
just want to
locales
ask.
at night
Okay, hold on.
with various ghost
I
hunting
want to ask
technologies.
something before I want to kick him in the face.
Okay.
Tell me a little something about this author.
I don't know anything about this author.
Okay, I want to know about the freaking guy
Let's see if it says
who's
anything.
writing about all of his skepticism within a specific field of study, because it ain't cancer research. It's not real science, right? I want to know his background
I
and
believe
the
it.
amount of actual locations he actually went to try to prove his theory correctly. I just want to know that part.
Well, you're fallible, and your fallacy so far is that it's a he.
Did what I say? She?
Beth Daly. She's the editor and general manager of this organization, wherever this is called The Conversation. Audio recorders figure prominently in paranormal researchers' toolkits. Microphones capture ambient sounds during the investigation.
Mm-hmm.
Later, the audio recordings are scoured in search of messages from spirits. The premise is that audio recording devices can register otherwise inaudible communications from discarnate entities. The purported communications have been dubbed EVPs, or electronic voice phenomena.
Mm-hmm.
The sounds are generally brief.
Dude, whose idea was it to talk about this?
Mine. The most examples consist of single words or phrases. Perceived contents of EVPs range from threatening, like "you're going to hell,"
This is like an atheist
to
that's
bizarre.
sitting here trying to debunk Christianity. That's what it is. So somebody's going to go out with their complete belief system. And wait, what's one of the words that they used at the beginning? I need you to scroll back up to the top. I think it was
Non-trivial?
No, it was like a perception. So we have this perception, right? Because it's pseudo, it's not real. So because we ain't that smart to be part of the real scientific community, right?
Yeah.
So what they're doing now is their perception of reality, that's not real, because their little mathematical stuff over here cannot figure out the possibilities of multiple dimensions, intelligence, life and dimensions, consciousness, alert, aware, intelligent consciousness that doesn't have to be within the physical. These are the same people that claim to figure out how this earth was created, same people that believe in Adam and Eve, the same people who believe this, the same people who believe that, and nothing to substantiate it.
Yeah. Yeah.
But they got to go out of their damn way to sit here and say nothing's real. And the part that's bothering me, I guess this is why I'm stalling, because the chances are is this woman never once has ever gone to a location to actually try to have an experience. I don't know for sure if she has or hasn't.
I don't think it says in here. It says the chain of evidence for most purported EVP makes hoaxes difficult to rule out. But let's assume that many of these sounds are not deliberate fraud. In some instances, alleged EVP are the voices of the investigators, or interference from radio transmission, which we have heard before, problems that indicate shoddy data collection practices.
All right, so now with recorders, see, this is the part that they need to put in.
Yep.
So when you order recorders, you can order recorders that record at different, was it decibels? Is that how it's the amount of volume, the amount of
decibels.
Like, so we can hear a certain range.
Okay.
And then the recorders can actually go to a lower hearing range, and you can buy other recorders that can actually go to a lower recording range. You know what I'm saying? Below hearing. What was their claim?
The critical leap in EVP research is the point at which odd sounds are interpreted as voices that communicate with intention.
And some of them are really voices.
Okay. Paranormal investigators typically decode the content of EVP by arriving at a consensus among themselves. EVP websites advise paranormal researchers to ask themselves, quote, is it a voice? Are you sure? Or to, quote, share results among fellow investigators and try to prevent investigator bias when reviewing data. Therein lies a methodological.
All right, so I
methodological difficulty.
I go to the Hill House, and I go with two men and a woman. Well, actually, we had other people with us, but Ron is an extreme skeptic who wants an experience. Brad, I don't know what his level of skepticism is, but he is thirsty for an experience.
Yeah.
Right? But both men extremely critical. These aren't people that create a perception, because there are some out there that every effing thing is a damn ghost, right? They won't even try to debunk it, even if deep down inside their little soul, even if that, they know it's not real, they will still play off of it because they want the emotional attachment to that experience, so they can go back and say that they're ghost hunters with experiences. And those are the people that actually do harm and damage to people that are doing real research. I got a friend, Callum Cooper, who lives over in England. He's a parapsychologist who studies paranormal events. He has done things that he cannot paranormally explain scientifically, but he knows that those events were real and not manufactured because of his skepticism and his science.
And the fact that he experienced it himself.
He experienced it himself. He wrote the book, Telephone Calls from the Dead, scared the shit out of these professors and scientists so much, they left the home, and one of them still never talked about what he heard on that phone. These are real freaking professors that don't believe in it, that traveled the world to debunk it.
Right. But the story says people's expectations about what they're supposed to hear can result in the illusory perception
100%
of tones, nature sounds, machine sounds, and even voices.
Yep.
When only acoustic white noise, like the sound of a detuned radio, exists. Interpretations of speech and noise, a situation similar to EVP where the alleged voice is difficult to discern, can shift entirely based upon what the listener expects to hear.
Okay, so when
then it goes through here in a little bit. It goes through experiments that they tried, but I'm going to skip that.
Yeah,
part
no, hold on a second, because this person's annoying the shit out of me.
We're not done yet.
All right, so when I first got that EVP from Devin, told everybody the story 1,000 times. I said, Devin, what do you like better, Legos or dinosaurs? And then I get an EVP of a whisper. It says dinosaurs, and then there was a pause, and then it said, I still feel cold. Okay?
But you literally heard the word dinosaurs.
You didn't even hear, you didn't hear.
Yeah.
No, you heard dinosaurs. I still feel cold. Like a child talked right into my recorder, right? I sent that audio out to 3 different people that were audio engineers. I say this in my story. You've heard
Did
me
any
say
of them
this
say
before.
you're full of shit?
Literally within the hour, all 3 of, and when I sent it to them, I didn't tell them what I heard.
Yeah.
I said, here's a quick, I know they're skeptic. If you hear something, let me know. If not, say I'm an idiot, right? No problem. You not knowing what you hear, if you can tell me what you hear, okay, because you got to understand all this, because a lot of it is pseudo.
Yeah.
A lot of it is matrixine. A lot of it is pareidolia. A lot of it is in the dark with light flashes and barely can see. You're going to see what seems to be shadows. You got to understand all that, right? But you can't discredit it as being real. So within the hour of me sending this stuff out, all 3 of them got back to me with the exact same answers.
Okay, so they heard what you heard.
And they had no idea what they're listening to. They knew what it was. Like, I'm sending them something with audio on it, right? Same people that ridicule me for doing it. Best people to listen to it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And they all came back. Dinosaurs, I still feel cold. They didn't know the story. I didn't explain it to them. That's all I needed to hear.
Did you explain it after the fact? Wow.
No.
She said after her experiments, we concluded that EVP are an auditory example of pareidolia, the tendency to perceive human characteristics in meaningless perceptual patterns. There are many visual examples of pareidolia, things like seeing human faces in everyday objects.
Yep, pareidolia,
such
Skittle
as
effect.
Jesus and a piece of toast.
Oh, yeah, I've seen it. I prayed to him when I saw it, too, just in case, because we don't know, right? Just in case. You don't just throw that piece of toast away. But I know for a fact that there's a huge, and there should be, like when we start talking about scrying, you're talking about pareidolia.
Yeah.
Lisa and I have done it a shit ton, right? We've done smoke scrying, mirror scrying. I've done the one with the candle where I saw the lady's face turn into a freaking demon. You know what I'm saying? That really messed me up. I couldn't look at my eyeballs for 3 days.
And the guy we showed with the face changing?
Yes.
That could that have been pareidolia?
No.
Okay.
No, because nothing was moving.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So when we did like water scrying, if anybody doesn't know what that is, we just get a black pot. We put a little bit of water in it, a couple inches of water, 3 inches of water in it, and then you spin it and you manifest. You just think, because it's water, it's absorbing the energy, right? You just think, you manifest something in your mind, and then you pull the spoon out, the water's spinning viciously in the bowl, and then you take pictures with your flash. And then you do the same thing with smoke. Now, this all comes down to, you told me one time, Ron, that people believe what they believe because of their faith. It's faith.
I did. I remember
You know what I'm saying? This is kind of the same thing because a lot of my very spiritual friends practice these things. They sit in a mirror and scry with, looking at themselves. They water scry, they smoke scry, and they believe they are having a spiritual connection. They believe that there are things, and I'm going to say this, Lisa and I have gotten pictures that, okay, probably could be pareidolia, could be the way the water was mixing with the flash.
I've
and the
seen the
angles
one
and
with the
lights.
fire.
Yeah, that was up in Wisconsin.
Yeah.
But we understand that it could just be the effect of everything. But what if we look deeper into that? Like I said, you talked about the Men in Black, and you said that cat or that dog or whatever on the collar had a universe
Yeah.
in its collar. That we don't know, right? If they can debunk it, that possibility isn't real, then that's a whole different conversation. But nobody's ever tried to debunk. They're trying to say that it could be
and
this.
that's why we're still searching for Bigfoot these days and aliens, because nobody can
we're
debunk
searching
it.
for aliens.
Nobody can debunk either
Nobody
one
can-
of them.
No, they can't.
You can't prove it yet, supposedly.
And they can't prove that there is or isn't life in parallels that we just
That's
can't see,
correct.
feel, touch, smell,
Yeah.
or any of that.
That's correct.
And I'm going to tell you, and some of the experiences I've had, Ron, I can read stuff like this all day. I used to study this. I used to study these damn ass articles of these people that are sitting here creating a mockery out of science. It's just like politics. They don't want you to focus on it. They create a mockery of it. So it drives you away. I'm going to tell you something. Some of the best damn people I know are in the paranormal field. Very spiritual people.
Yeah.
They don't care who you are. They don't care what you look like, what you smell like, what kind of clothes you have on. They are with you spiritually and universally. And they get ridiculed for that. Like this hippie thing. It's just like, but you know what? They're not going to go out and judge people out there. They're not going to be like standard society. They're not going to go out and ridicule people for what they drive, look, or what they do for a job. I don't know what kind of group of people you guys want to hang out with, but I'd rather hang out with some pretty cool, chill people.
Yeah, she goes on to say research from cognitive psychology has shown that paranormal believers may be especially prone to misperceiving chance events. Paranormal investigators record a practically limitless amount of audio and use all manner of sound processing techniques, including filtering the sounds to remove particular frequencies and boosting the volume.
Yep.
Inevitably, they're able to find samples of audio that sound somewhat like a voice.
No. So, I've sent you stuff before, Ron.
Yeah.
And you don't hear what I hear. Right?
That's correct.
So,
and if I were not watching your videos when I was hearing them, I don't think I would have picked out the same thing that you picked out.
Right. But I also want to point out that there is audio out there from me and from other people around the damn world that is indisputable. Voices that are intelligently communicating through whatever they're using, whether it be EVP. There's no way, Ron, that a human voice can come through clear on a voice recorder. I got that one EVP where it goes, Rocky, please stay. It was a regular voice, like it was my cousin or my freaking grandma sitting on a couch next to me. That's how clear that voice was. Was that the effing AC kicking on? Saying, it's going to get cold in here. Rocky, please stay. I just, unless people like this that write these articles, because it is an unfair assessment. I understand the bullshit. I really do. And there's a lot of it.
Yeah.
I understand that some people think everything. I went to investigate a house. Lady thought there was a demon there. She heard scratches and she heard noises and she thought the attic is where it hid. Well, that's where the squirrel hid. That, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, and that is the problem with the field is understanding human mind and psychology. And I'm not a doctor, but when you understand the vulnerability of the mind, we are very vulnerable creatures. And I think if you're going to be in this field, because it is pseudo, it's not proven science. It's not. And calling it pseudo is not bad. It's unproven. It is
unproven. And it's still likely, as she says, in pseudoscience, there is a semblance of adherence to the values of science. In other words, it's not completely false, fake, but there's some semblance to actual science.
And I got to say something, Phillips. There's a lot of people in the field that are responsible for creating that perception. They're 100% responsible. Don't go talk to a flashlight and then go tell somebody's the homeowner that it's a demon that you're talking to. Don't go talk to a K2 meter, and because it blinks twice, you think you're having a full-blown conversation, because there's a million things that can make that happen, right? And understanding just the basic science of what you're doing. I know the skepticism in the spirit box. I absolutely appreciate it. I have done it so much that I am beyond a reasonable doubt that communication can be had through some kind of a white noise frequency. I also understand that you are scanning effing frickin' frequencies from radio stations and radio towers. So yes, you're going to get voices that sometimes are pretty relevant to what you're talking about, but isn't necessarily that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, she specifically says, assuming some of these voice-like sounds cannot be attributed to shoddy data collection practices, their actual sources likely run the spectrum from ambient environmental noises to electrical interference to audio processing artifacts. If the listener is intently expecting to hear a person, virtually any sound can meet that expectation.
So now the EMF it makes noise. You know, we don't hear it, but if you had a recorder at the right frequency of what the Earth, it actually it hums.
It has the hum.
It hums.
Yeah.
So you got to understand, especially in locations where there is high EMF. We just talked about it yesterday. Even around towers, there's high EMF. That's producing noise. That's producing a very low noise.
You can walk up to a tower and hear it.
Correct.
Yeah.
So when you're looking for something, it's pretty simple. You know, you look for decibels. You're looking for clarity. You're not just listening. These ones where people will spend 45 minutes trying to figure out what they just heard. You know, it's all how you approach it. And these people piss me off. They irritate me, and it's dumb.
A paranormal theory is much more complex. We have to explain how disembodied entities acquire agency. We have to explain why they have the ability to produce sound, but only communicate in audio recordings instead of simply speaking aloud. We have to explain why they apparently can't speak clearly in full sentences, but only brief, garbled, and often seemingly random phrases.
Really?
Yeah. Then her last paragraph says, many forms of popular entertainment require the suspension of disbelief, and viewers of paranormal reality shows are hopefully tuning in for the entertainment rather than the scientific value of these
I'm tuning
programs.
in for both. I'm tuning in to see the entertainment part of it, but I'm also tuning in because the TV show like Ghost Adventures, man, like it or not, like the cast of the show or not, they have gotten some amazing effing evidence. Let me ask you this. How does this freaking Goomba write in this article? How does she explain poltergeist? Because poltergeist is a real thing.
I don't know.
That has been scientifically studied.
Let me finish up. A good ghost story may hold entertainment and even cultural value, but the popular portrayal of pseudoscientific practices as science may be detracting from efforts to cultivate a scientifically literate public.
Why don't people try to help the science of the community then instead of ridicule it?
Because they don't believe in the pseudoscience aspect of things.
How do we know what their science isn't pseudoscience? Because some of their science doesn't seem to help shit. It seems to make it worse.
Apparently, if you're listening to people around the world the last couple of years, we're not following the science.
No, because we're bastards.
Because what the hell?
F it. I almost said it.
What is science? What is following science? You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
What is it?
Don't even get me going.
Yeah, I know. I hear you. Rocky needs a gummy after this episode. He doesn't need it after the episode.
I need a hug. That's what I need. Come here, Petey. No, this stuff bothers me. I can't believe you dropped this on me.
No,
bro.
dude, I knew you would be frustrated by the fact, but I have physically been with you and heard the spirit box make sounds where I can't immediately pick up that that's an auditory, phrase of any sort. But when we go back and listen to the recording, I don't know if it's my brain trying to force a phrase in there, trying to force a word, or if I'm physically hearing that there. Why didn't I hear it the first time?
No, because it's different, and I go through it too, and you actually, and Lisa can vouch for this, you actually have to train yourself on how you listen to that.
Yeah.
Right? Because we get focused on the white noise, and it's I guarantee you that what you're listening to is hypnotic. You're hearing the.
Oh yeah, I sat up there in that room and listened to it for an hour that night.
And then you stop it, and you're like,
"Whoa!"
You know,
Yeah.
it's weird. So you get kind of drawn into the sound, right? And so sometimes when you're drawn into listening to the instead of trying to not focus on it, you'll hear it. You'll hear something come through. You've seen me. You're like, oh, dude, that you knew that was something.
Yeah.
But you were so
But you don't
into
have
it.
the ability to go immediately back and replay it because you're continuing to do research,
correct.
right? So you go back and listen to it. Now, what was cool for us is we had a guy, the owner of the house, was actually sitting in a trailer out in the driveway. That's where he sleeps at night when somebody's in the house. And for a period of 3 or 4 hours while we were investigating running these EVPs, he was recording.
His whole house is wired up.
And he would go back and cut pieces of the recording that he could hear upon listening to it again.
Because he is trained.
And send them to us and go. And he would just send it to us with the words that he heard.
And
now is that is that called, that's not pareidolia, is it?
No, not
What's
at
it
all.
called? The Mcgurk Effect is where we're reading the words and then all of a sudden we hear those words because we're listening for that.
Well, the
phrase,
word
right?
demon is pretty distinct.
Demon is distinct.
And that came through
My
3
name
times.
is distinct.
Yes, it is. So now, could it be? Yes. Could it be? Yes. Could it be? Yes. All of the above. You know what I'm saying? And at the end of the day, just like religion, you got to let your faith take control somewhere. You got to let your belief take control somewhere because there is science out there that doesn't actually prove what we're doing, but there's science out there that supports a lot of what our theories are in regards to.
And Audrey said it correctly. All science started off as pseudoscience.
It's a fact.
Because you don't know what you don't know.
Yeah, Lisa said that some people can hear it and some people can't. And the more you listen to that, like Lisa and I could sit down and we could catch almost every word real time because we trained ourselves over. We used to do it in our house every effing day.
Yeah, that would freak me out a little bit.
Well, because then the bread flew across our kitchen and then the light started turning on and off by itself. Yes, dude, off our counter across the kitchen.
And then apparently you came home one night and went upstairs and it wasn't you.
Now that's a different kind of science.
I
really,
get that.
Right?
Yeah.
So explain that because there are stories like that all over the world where you have the doppelganger. But yeah, man, it's do you manifest that? Does your mind create that? You know, we've been down everything they said, we've explored.
Yeah.
1,000 times and we still explore it. You know, I mean, do we, through the frequency of our own thought, are we actually creating that into a recorder? Are we aligning somehow? And I always wanted to try that experiment where everybody in the room thinks of the same word super strong and aggressively and then start a recorder.
Yeah.
And see if we can pick that. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, not everybody just thinks everything is a ghost. So this author, she can come along sometime with us.
And that's probably because she never mentioned, other than her experiment, she never mentioned that she physically has gone, you know, on a ghost hunt, a paranormal.
Well, then
research. She should.
It's like a drug addict telling people what it's like. Somebody who's never done a drug telling everybody what it's like to be a drug addict.
Thank you, everybody, for watching tonight. We appreciate it. We're back live again tomorrow night. That is our last show of the week tomorrow night.
Article of my life.
Last live show of the week. Rocky Stucci, take us home.
Oh, shit. Hey, folks, we love each and every one of you this Wednesday night, hump night. I'm going to go hump Phillips here after the program.
No, you're not.
Hey, abnormalrealities.com, RomikaDesigns.com, InsaneCustomTumblers.com, and a lot of .coms coming your way. So stand by, folks. We love you. Hey, God bless you. God bless your families. And God bless the United States of America. Ron Phillips.
Good night. See ya.